There's probably thousands of videos by now on YouTube that talk about different ways to make passive income, and I'm sure a lot of these ideas work, but I also know a lot of them don't really work because it either takes too much time or just isn't really worth the money. So I wanted to make it really simple and go over how to make real passive income on Robinhood through dividend income. As you probably might know, dividends are the payments that a company makes to its shareholders or investors as sort of a way to share the company's profits. So if you as the investor are willing to take on a little bit of risk and invest in a company, you're then obligated to a monthly or quarterly dividend payment according to the company's dividend policy. Anyway, enough of the boring stuff. Let me pull up my Robinhood account and kind of show you guys how I make passive income every month from dividends. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to use Robinhood to be able to do this. You can use other investing apps like Webull or M1 Finance. There's a bunch of investing apps that you can use. I've just used Robinhood for a while now and kind of stuck with it since. So as you can see here at the bottom, I own a few different dividend paying funds. So let's start with this first one here. It's JEPI, which is actually not a stock, but rather an ETF. And I personally like dividend paying ETFs a little bit better because they tend to be a lot safer than stocks, and the dividends are a lot more consistent too. JEPI currently pays an 11% dividend, which comes to around 45 to 60 cents per share every month. And I have over $1,000 invested into JEPI, and if you look closely, you can see that I was recently paid a little under $9 on February 6th, which means I'm just about to get paid again in about a day. So even if I don't buy any more shares going forward, as long as I hold on to this investment, I'll be getting that $9 to $10 a month in passive income basically forever as long as I hold and don't sell. And you might be thinking $10 a month really isn't that much, and you'd be right because it's definitely not a significant amount of money, but it's still passive income that I'm getting every month for essentially doing nothing other than taking on a little bit of risk and using that $1,000 in capital in return for $10 in cash flow. I could also pretty easily increase that number by a lot if I wanted to. I'd have to add more shares month to month, but then I'd eventually get to the point where that $10 a month then becomes $1,000 a month, which is definitely possible, but of course takes quite a bit of time. Another fund in my portfolio that pays a monthly dividend is Realty Income, which is a real estate investment trust or REIT. And this pays a consistent dividend every month at a 4% annual yield. So not very high, but it's still a pretty average dividend yield. And as you can see, I have just under $800 invested, and every month I've been getting paid about $3 in dividends. So the dividends from Realty Income are a little bit less than the ones from JEPI, the one I just showed, but it keeps my portfolio diversified and those dividends continually rolling in. This other dividend-paying ETF is JEPQ, which is managed and owned by the same firm as JEPI, and it also pays a fairly high monthly dividend. It's a pretty new ETF, so I only own just a few shares, but I'm planning on adding more shares here in the near future to build up that position along the way. So I'm getting my first dividend payment of 87 cents here soon, but that's just from owning only 2 shares or having less than $100 invested. But these dividend payments that I just showed aren't the only ones that I've gotten recently. So if I jump to my dividend payout history, as you can see, I'm getting paid from all the stocks that I own in my portfolio, which I think is around 30 different stocks. It's a few dollars here and a few dollars there, but it definitely adds up at the end of the year, and it's purely passive income. What I also really like about dividend investing is that those dividends are not only a form of passive income, but can be a tool to help you make even more money. Once you do get those dividend payments, you're able to reinvest that cash back into the same funds, making each payment a little more the next time and creating the dividend snowball effect. It also allows a lot of freedom too. For example, let's say you build up a dividend portfolio to the point where you're receiving $1,000 a month in dividends. You'd then have the freedom to really do whatever you want with that cash. Like I just mentioned, you could continually grow your portfolio by reinvesting those dividends so you could hit your retirement number a little bit sooner. Or if you really wanted to, you could use that $1,000 in cash for a car payment or vacations or really any expense. And of course, I do have to mention too that you are taxed on dividend income, but I'm not a tax expert in any way, so I won't get too deep into the weeds with that. But like any ordinary income or passive income, you will be taxed. Unfortunately, any money that's made is not completely free.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
So I just kind of wanted to show you guys how I make passive income with my dividend payments and how you can too by investing in these dividend paying funds. Hope this was helpful. As always, feel free to leave a comment and a like, and I will catch you next time. See ya.